At the age of 32, Jefferson is the second youngest delegate at the Continental Congress. Nevertheless, his reputation as a writer later gets him appointed to the committee drafting a declaration to explain why the colonies wish to become independent of Great Britain.
We now, as modern-day Americans, assume it's like this iconic document. But it wasn't born an iconic document. There was an assumption at the time that America needed to do something to put in writing an explanation of what they were doing, and the Declaration of Independence becomes that document. And Congress does what Congresses do. It says, okay, committee, here's 5 guys. Go off and figure this out, 5 guys.
One of the 5 guys is John Adams of Massachusetts. Though the 2 men like each other immediately, Adams will be the most volatile friendship in Jefferson's life.
Adams is like this canon of politics. You know, Adams loves confrontation. He just wants to argue with you and sort of grapple with things. And you can really see those 2 very different personalities in action.
This is the first of many arguments Adams and Jefferson will have over the course of their long lives.
Thomas Jefferson initially thought that Adams should write the Declaration. Adams said, I can't be the one who writes it. I'm obnoxious and disliked. So it can't come from me. But you are not obnoxious and disliked. Plus, you're a great writer. You should be the one who goes off and writes the draft.
Over the next 17 days, Jefferson stays in his rented Philadelphia room, continuously writing and revising. His document combines the wisdom of the Enlightenment with the rhetorical skills he honed during his 8 years as a lawyer.
We look at that document, and what stands out to us is this idea that all men are created equal. It's the preface, it's the beginning, it's all of the grand statements about humankind. But at the time, in a sense, what was really important about that document is the stuff that we tend to ignore, which is this long list of things that the king has done to the colonies, which is the actual reason why the revolution is happening.
He has obstructed the administration of justice, imposed taxes without our consent, suspended our own legislatures, and quartered armed troops among us.
It can be said, in many respects, that he was an attorney suing on behalf of the colonies against King George III.
I think part of the reason that the opening of the Declaration is timeless is you actually just have to give some credit to Jefferson for being a good writer. He's sort of the poet of the Revolution, or maybe the poet of the founding.
Jefferson essentially writes the creed of America. And America's unusual as a country in that it's not held together by ethnicity or it's not a particularly homogeneous country. What really holds America together is this mission statement that Jefferson writes. And this is the creed to which Americans subscribe. And that's really what makes Jefferson so important.